for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy. Today, we're going to start off by talking about when did you get into gaming? And here I do have two guests here. I'll start with Greg. I have Greg here. Greg, I don't know if you want to say anything, introduce yourself.
Just a good friend of Jasher, usually playing pretty much any type of co-op game, online multiplayer, things like that,
Yeah.
moving from one game to the next, trying to get the completion as high as possible, but until we're
Mhm.
satisfied and then move on to the next game. So
Right,
always
right.
keeping an eye out for what's on the horizon, what's coming out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. And Ken, I have Ken here as well. Ken, you have anything to say?
Um, Not in particular, but um, I'm just happy to be here
Yeah,
and
all
talk.
right.
Talk about games, and yeah, I'm excited.
All right, all right. So before I guess we jump in, I guess I'll just say, I guess man, my memory's not the best, but I've been gaming as long as I can remember. Today I was trying to reminisce a little bit, back to my journey in regards to games. And there were some things that really stuck out. I was born in '86, so I'm an '80s baby, grew up in the '90s. I like to think the '90s were the golden age of gaming, even though games came out earlier in the '80s, really. But in my life, the '90s was like where it all started for me. And I was trying to figure out like what system was the first system that we got when I was a kid. I couldn't remember. I know I played the system that Pong was on, but I think that was a little bit later. I think it had already been out for like 10, 15 years by the time I actually touched it. But I definitely remember the Nintendo, man. Um, I don't know how we got it. We were poor. I have no idea how we got the Nintendo. Maybe my mom got it for us. I don't know. But I remember, of course, Mario and Duck Hunt. I remember, I'm not sure, Greg, what system was Kung Fu on? I remember playing Kung Fu as well. I don't know,
Might
you
have
might not remember
might have
that.
been NES, regular
Yeah,
Nintendo.
yeah, yeah. So the regular Nintendo, my brothers and I, we spent a lot of time playing that. Um, but I wouldn't necessarily say like that's really when I got into gaming. Um, I I really got into gaming when the Super Nintendo came out, man. And once we were playing the Super Nintendo, we had Super Mario World. That game was outstanding. However, the game that really got me started and got me hooked, I think, and I'd never played any of the other Zeldas, man. But one day I remember watching my brother play, my oldest brother. I remember him play. I remember watching him play um, A Link to the Past, man. And I was like, okay, this game is, you can save your progress? Like, well, what is that? Like, okay, all right, you can have like three saves all at once. You can collect hearts. And I was just like, man, this game is interesting. The music, like, I remember watching him, and I remember him like getting the Master Sword and like doing, going switching between the light world and the dark world, battle, all the puzzles and stuff, man. And I was just captivated by it. So I remember starting my own playthrough on that, and then I was like, man, this is interesting, man. And like that game is probably the game I spent the most time on. Individually, like that game really got me started in role playing games. Really got me started in just like games are, something that I can do on my spare time. Growing up, games was a big part of my life, but so was sports. So in all the neighborhoods that I lived in, we would play games, but then we would also go outside and have a little fun outside. I think those days are over with. You don't see kids playing outside anymore. Um, but so I spent a lot of time playing that. And then of course we did have Sega as well. I played a lot of Zelda. I played a lot of this game called Eternal Champions. Played a lot of Mortal Kombat, man. And I remember going to the arcades. I think it was called golfing games back when I was probably in like third grade, going to the arcade, man, to play Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Um, so like that, those games kind of got me started. And then of course when the super no, the Nintendo 64 came out, man. And it was like, all right, it is on, man. It is on, man. That game came out. GoldenEye came out, man. We would have parties, in the neighborhood. Everybody had their own controller. And now you can play with up to 4 players, man. And you're just sitting there playing GoldenEye, man. And like after school, that's what we would do. We'd probably go to the park, play basketball or football or something. Maybe even catch, and then all right, man, y'all ready to get slapped up with some golden eye, man? And go, let me go get my controller. Go grab my controller, run to their house, man, and just have like 6 people. You if you don't win, you're off the sticks, man. Lowest man got to get off of the sticks. So I've been playing games, man, for like as long as I can remember. And there are, obviously games that probably had more of an impact on, my um, on why I enjoy games so much. And Zelda: A Link to the Past being one of those. GoldenEye. I never played Perfect Dark. I hear that it's better. It was better than GoldenEye. Again, I was poor. Play whatever we can get our hands on. Not even sure how we were able to even get the systems. That again, I was a kid. I had 2 brothers. I don't know if they got them by a nefarious means or not. I hope not. But I do remember us having them and my friends having them and stuff like that. And I never dropped the controllers, man. As I went through life, I just continued to play games. The PlayStation came out, Dreamcast, Xbox. I didn't own the Xbox, but my friends did. So I remember playing, a little bit of Halo, and stuff like that, man. And so still to this day, 2021 now, and I'm 34. Sometimes I have to remember how old I am. And then here I'm still gaming, man. It's a whole different environment now. The multiplayer scene is a lot stronger, a lot different than it was when I was younger. You're playing with people all around the world, man. Australia, China, Russia. It doesn't matter, man. Gamers are everywhere. So I'm really, really enjoying the environment, even though it's toxic. We'll probably talk a little bit about that. But yeah, so as you can see, man, I've been gaming for a long time. I've been gaming for a very long time, man. Yeah. So I don't know who wants to go next. Like, how was it for you, man? How was it for you,
Yeah,
Greg? I'll let you get
I
started.
can talk next. Yeah. So, I mean, I was born in 85. So I've been, born the year of Mario's anniversary. So I'm a pretty, pretty, it's kind of like I was, fortunate to be a Nintendo kid and,
Hmm.
to get into gaming. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned Link to the Past for Super Nintendo. That's actually still one of my favorite games of all time. I've
Yeah,
played through
yeah,
that many times. Um, I started with the NES. I remember playing, Mario. Wasn't a huge fan of Mario 2. It was a little different. But Mario 3 was
yeah.
one of my favorite, still one of my favorite games, especially for the NES. Just,
Hmm.
I feel like at that point, Nintendo had kind of perfected its platforming design with how tight the controls were in that game. And then the creativity and the level design and things like that. And if you watch any kind of speed run event, like you'll probably see Mario 3 show up at some
Hmm.
point because there's still people that play Mario 3 like very, very consistently and just, perfecting their speed runs and things like that. but yeah, I started with NES. I had Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, as you mentioned, another
Mhm.
phenomenal game. I still love platformers today. I know maybe a little bit more than Jasher does. That's not grown out of me. I have a list of games that I intend on playing. A lot of them are platformers, so I'm always looking
Mhm.
forward to new games that sort of not remake, but take the genre a little farther. Like Shovel Knight, for example, is kind of like a Mega Man spin-off, sort of. Um, and that's actually become one of my recent favorites. Has a retro style to it, but yet modernized with controls that feel tight and feel good and things like that. Um, I still remember when I was a kid, I had NES and Super Nintendo. And I remember going to my grandparents' house and hearing the Sonic the Hedgehog intro music playing at my grandparents' house. My grandfather bought us a Sega Genesis, so that was my shoe in to Sega. So I think Jasher's maybe a little bit more of a Sega kid than I was, but I did play Sonic. I do remember Eternal Champions was a one-on-one fighting game, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, definitely played that.
Mhm.
Nintendo 64, Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, another one of my all-time favorite games. And eventually, I got into shooters. I played GoldenEye. I used to play that a lot with my family. We would play like, or not matchmaking, but like multiplayer games against each other. The Golden Gun, remember, it was a one-shot
Yeah.
kill. If you had the Golden Gun, if you shoot somebody with that, they're done one shot. Um, I played Time Splitters as well. It's like the same game, just like, maybe a little bit newer and a little bit of other stuff. But I feel I have more of a nostalgia feeling with GoldenEye than with no, Perfect Dark, not Time Splitters. Sorry, Perfect Dark. I said Time Splitters because I was going to say Time Splitters 2 is actually my first twin stick shooter that I played, where you had to use one joystick to kind of move your feet and another to look around. Like, obviously every shooter is today, Call of Duty and everything. I mean, it's basically, the modernized, it's basically the way, everything is today. But I remember Time Splitters 2, playing it on PS2. I think it was a little uncomfortable at first. I wasn't sure if I was going to, if I was feeling that, but eventually, it didn't take too long to get into it. And then now, it's just the norm when it comes to playing shooters online and things like that. Pretty much play anything, man. And that play, I enjoy shooters. I enjoy playing matchmaking online multiplayer, but I also enjoy platformers and, RPGs, adventure games, things like that. I mean, if it's fun, if it's got a, good core gameplay to it, I mean, I'll play it and enjoy it. I've, been gaming since I was a kid. I probably got an NES when I was only a few years old, less than 5 years old. And, that's all it took. So, you know, been playing
Yeah.
ever since.
Yeah. So you were playing the console version of Time Splitters. I only played the arcade, man.
Yeah, I think so. And I used to go to the arcade as a kid. That's actually how I got into X-Men. I don't know if you ever played the original X-Men
Yeah.
arcade game. It's like
Yeah.
they had like this big 6-player version of it. And I
Yeah.
happened to choose, like, the first time I ever sat down on it, I happened to choose Wolverine. And ever since then, he was my favorite X-Men. It's just funny how you start with something as a kid, like, and if you start with something young, you just kind of stick with it as you grow up. So it's kind of like the way gaming is as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Did you another arcade I spent a lot of time with was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
the beat 'em
man.
ups.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That game was a big hit, man, at the arcade that I would go to. That and yeah, Mortal Kombat, man. You'd have kids just lined up waiting to waste their money, man, and get beat up on Mortal Kombat. I remember there a kid that was really good though. He was just knock everybody off the sticks, man. So I used to like when he wasn't there.
No competition, huh?
Right, right. Like, hey, man, I'm about to waste a quarter that I just had to dig in the couch for, man.
Your
Yeah.
mom's like, Josh, we're gonna go to the arcade on Thursday. No, mom, we gotta go on Friday on Thursday.
Right.
Big Joe's at the arcade on Thursday.
Yeah. 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 All right, Ken, you're
Uh,
a little bit younger than us, man.
yes, I
So
am.
when
I
were you born?
I was born in 91.
Oh, you're not that
Yes.
much younger.
Well,
You still grew up
I'm
in the
right.
90s.
I'm
Yeah.
in between,
Yeah.
yeah, so as I said, I was born in 91, and hearing you guys' stories, it brought so many memories back in my head.
All right.
Hearing your side, how you got into gaming,
Mm-hmm.
and hearing Greg's side of story, how he got into gaming. I'm actually in both of um,
Both worlds, huh?
both worlds,
Okay.
console and arcade.
Okay.
I can remember the time. Well, I'm not really familiar with the consoles because I have two different backgrounds. Like I came from the Philippines. Like
Mm-hmm.
you talking about poor, we
Mm-hmm.
were really poor,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember just sharing console with my cousins, or and
Mm-hmm.
one of my family member, my aunt had a arcade, like for Super Mario, whatever game she want to play, Tetris, you name it, and yeah, I can remember Sega. I think Jurassic Park was my favorite game at that time. I don't
Okay.
know if you
I
guys,
remember that game. That game is
it,
really difficult.
it was, it was, but we didn't have Zelda. I was never introduced to Zelda,
Yeah.
Kingdom of Hearts, none
Okay.
of that.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm kind of like uh, out of the box. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I remember playing what's I don't know if Batman or Robin was in Sega.
I don't
So
know. I
yeah,
can't
do you remember,
recall.
Greg?
I mean, I know there were a lot of Batman games back then, so I wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
surprised if there was one on
Yes.
Sega. Yeah.
So yes, and then I was introduced to when PS1 came out. I
Okay.
think the very first game I played was Harry Potter. And
Okay.
I
Hmm.
was not a fan of it. No, it was too difficult, too complicated. And yeah, so and I got into arcade, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um Marvel versus Capcom,
Mm-hmm.
and
Capcom. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Capcom, and I played a lot of that and Dragon Ball Z, in arcade. So
Okay.
yeah, growing up, that's most
Yeah.
likely I played, and yeah, I remember one time. This is one of the funny story. I skipped school just to beat the game.
Oh,
So
come on.
yeah, so I did. And then next thing I was so focused on the game, right? And then arcade, and I was in this small little booth, and I was just playing game. Next thing you know, I look back, there was a crowd around me at the door, at the window, and then I go, why there's so many people in here? And next thing you know, I didn't know I was just going off the game. And then
Okay.
and not knowing my dad came by and see what was going on, and snuck out in the window. He goes, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in school. And I was just like, man, I got caught up. I had to stop the game and go back to school. And he told my grandma about it. My grandma was so mad. She
Mhm.
I think I did get that beat up. She did beat me up, just to discipline, school first, and then do whatever you want after school, right?
Mhm.
So growing up, but at that time I was not really consistent of gaming.
Mhm.
But when I came here in America, so I came here at 2005, and
Mhm.
that I was
Okay.
13 years old. I was introduced to Xbox. Like you mentioned Halo.
Mhm.
I played a lot of. I didn't, to be honest, I did not like Halo at all. My
Okay.
cousin, he just wanted somebody to play with. So
Mhm.
I go, okay, I'll play with you. But when you're done, I'll play whatever I want with your Xbox because I didn't have my own my own system.
Right.
So then, I played Dragon Ball Z. I think that's what I love to play. You know, games like that, like because as you can see in my posters, I love animes. So yeah, so I played a lot of that, and yeah, Xbox 360 came out, Gears of War, Man, yeah, and then I start, loving the game more. So I go, okay, I'm gonna get into gaming, and then I can remember PS3, Black Ops One, but that I don't think that was the very first Black Ops I played. Call of Duty I played. There's more like Brother in Arms. I don't know if that was a Call of Duty game, but Greg, was saying he loves, RPGs game. I'm more like a shooting game, and if a game has I have an interest with the game,
Mm-hmm.
I play it. Like I play Among Us here and there, with family and friends. But I'm most likely playing with the shooting game and mouse and keyboard. Oh, no, it's funny. I forgot to mention too, Counter Strike. That's when I.
Okay.
That's when I everyone was on mouse and keyboard. Growing up, I played that too. I played that a lot actually, but I just don't know why I'm not on mouse and keyboard. But but yeah, so yeah, I mean, just talking about it, gives me chill, especially with Black Ops 1. That's where all started, staying up all night, just play the game,
Right. Right.
and yeah, and
So so you said you owned a 360.
so I didn't own a system until PS4.
So okay, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay,
So I would be
okay.
sharing, with my family members because I did not
Right.
have my own console.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So
All right.
PS. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can remember. I remember the PlayStation, the PS1. I must have been. I guess I must have been in fourth grade. Must have been like 9 years old or something like that. And I can remember going to one of my friends' house, man, and um, he yeah, this is back when VHS was a thing, man. You had tapes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, he put in a tape in his VCR, and then I was watching this guy run through like a mansion and like battle zombies and a huge snake and stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, what movie is this? Like this is kind of weird, man. You put in a weird movie, and I must have watched it for like 2 hours. I don't know. And then he was like, that was a recording of my brother playing a video game. And I was like, what kind of game has graphics like this, man? Like those graphics were out of this world to me, man. And so I was like, what system is this? And he was like, it's my brother. He's in there playing the PlayStation right now, man. And I was like, wow. So I can recall that being the very first time that I even knew about a PlayStation. Everything for me was Nintendo and Sega
Mm-hmm.
at that time. So but I did eventually get a PlayStation. I remember spending a lot of time, man, because once I played Zelda, I kind of fell in love with like role playing games and stuff, man. And it was later after the game had came out, and you probably didn't play this, Ken. Final
Mm-mm.
Fantasy VII. You played Final Fantasy VII,
I
man?
have I have played Final Fantasy, but not all of them.
Oh,
Seven's
okay.
the first
Yes.
one that I played, and
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
me
the
too.
PS1 like you did.
Yep, me
Mm-hmm.
too, man. And man, that game was outstanding, man. It was. I spent a lot of time on that game, man. That game was really outstanding. So, that was oh, but that wasn't the first PlayStation game I had, man. I had a game called everyone knows Twisted Metal. But I think this was on the PlayStation, a game called Rogue Trip. Neither of you are
Mm,
man.
not
It
those
it's
games.
pretty much Twisted Metal, man, but it was a little more a little more wonky. Man, that game was really fun, man. It was called Rogue Trip. I'm actually gonna see if there's like a mod or something I could download and to play that game. That game was really fun, man. Called Rogue Trip. What was your first PlayStation game, Greg?
I don't know. It was probably either Tekken or Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
one of those
Tekken.
two.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal 2 is even as far back or as recently as like 2 or 3 years ago, I still have a copy of Twisted Metal 2 that works in my PS3. So I would, and you could play it co-op, and that game is so. I mean, the frame rate is just terrible in some
Right.
sequences when you play co-op,
Yeah.
but it's very addictive. I would love to see them. I mean, they made a, I forget what the most recent Twisted Metal game they made was, but I would love to see them like remaster like the second one or remake the second one or something like that, because it was just addictive, like using the characters like Thumper with the flame, or one of them with the really powerful specials, just
Hmm.
teeing off on one of the cars with those specials that they had is just
Yeah.
really addicting when when you destroy something fast in that game. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to play that co-op with my cousins all the time. um,
Yeah. Yeah. Spent a lot of time on this was I must have been in 10th grade, man. Maybe ninth grade, something like that. Spent a lot of time on Tony Hawk, man.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Tony
Dreamcast.
Hawk's Pro Skater. Not even a skater though, like not at
Mm-hmm.
all, man. But I played a lot of Tony Hawk on the PlayStation, or was that PS2? Do you know? That might have been.
Might have been PS2, because I
Yeah.
think it also was out on Dreamcast too, because Dreamcast was around the time that PS2 was out. Um, you should check out the remakes that just came out then.
Yeah, yeah. I
20,
was thinking about that,
yeah,
man.
it's
Just
just it's addictive gameplay. Like, you don't have to be a skater to enjoy those games. It's just fun to
yeah,
be able to string combos together and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I liked all the Tiger Woods games too, man. Not a golfer at
I
all,
used
but
to
I
play.
can tell you I can tell you what par is, what a birdie is, an eagle, a bogey. I played a lot of Tiger Woods, man. Yeah, my
Yeah.
brother actually got me into playing that game, man, and so yeah, video games, man. Like I learned a lot, just playing video games and learning a lot about sports as well, man. Like Ollie, 720, I think they call it, and stuff like that. I wouldn't know what any of that stuff is because
Hmm.
I'm not a skater. I did play Skate or Die though, long time ago, man. A long time ago. You remember Skate or Die?
Not I.
No?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many games that you can call out. But just talking about the ones that I probably played the most. In Zelda. I mean, but I never played Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time. Never, never played either one of
I
those,
mean,
man.
you should. Yeah, I'm.
I need to play them.
I mean, yeah, Majora's Mask is, it's kind of like a spin-off sequel to Ocarina of Time. I still have like memories of having sleepovers, friends that people I used to be friends with back in like middle school, and just like playing through Ocarina of Time and like discovering new things. And it was definitely a game that inspired a lot of 3D adventure games today, just with the different, it took the Link to the Past formula and made it like 3D with like dungeons and exploration and stuff like that. So there's a lot of games that are like, adventure games that you explore and stuff like that a lot of it probably started with it. And even today, Ocarina of Time's a fun game, just going through the dungeons and solving the puzzles and just kind of exploring and
Mm,
stuff like that. So
mm. All right, what are you playing right now, Ken? Like what games are you playing at this time?
Majority is Call of Duty, man. I just love the game, in Warzone. It just changed the whole world, and
Mm.
because I could look back. I don't know if you guys ever played Splinter Cell
No,
back
I
in
never got into Splinter Cell.
um Xbox. Yeah, so I love the Splinter Cell. So
Mm,
I think of it, it's a stealth game, right? But when I think about, that game versus Warzone, there's no comparison, but you could, the tactics they could use is pretty much the tactics you could use on Warzone. So
mm.
yeah, and
Okay.
you know, but but yeah, that's most likely Matter of fact, when I just downloaded my childhood cards game, Yu-Gi-Oh, on my PC. So,
Okay.
when I get bored or frustrated with Call of Duty, I just play that game. It's less stressful,
Is that
you
a
know.
card game?
It's a card game that is
Okay.
digital. That's on a PC, so I don't have to buy the actual cards, you know.
Okay.
So yeah,
All
but
right. Confession, I have never played any battle royale game at all
mm,
in any capacity. Never. Didn't I played Fortnite before it became a battle royale game. I played it when it was fort building and trying to protect yourself from zombies and stuff like that. Then I stopped playing, and then they did the complete overhaul. Never played PUBG, Blackout, Warzone, nothing, none of those. I actually, so I played Modern Warfare, and I played it a lot, man. Back in like 2007, like 2007. Um, and then I played, that was Modern Warfare 4. And then I played Black Ops. I played Modern Warfare 2. I played, I think, Black Ops 2. And then that was it. I didn't play any other. I played a little, um, what is it? Not World at War. I didn't play that at all. I played a little World War II, a little. And then I played a little Infinity War. I think that's what it was called. But
Infinite
since
Warfare.
then,
Infinite
yeah,
Warfare.
Infinity Warfare, man. But after Black Ops 2, I just stopped playing Call of Duty, man. And because they just kept on making them, and I wasn't seeing a whole lot of changes. And it was like same thing, new maps, same thing, stuff like that. Um, but I am playing the newest one. I'm like trying to get back into it. So playing a little bit of it, every week, trying to get back into COD and stuff like that. Back then they might have had MLG and stuff like that. I don't remember, but now, like, COD is huge, man. They're like, it's on a big scale. Like, esports is like on a very, very large scale, man. It's really lucrative right now. That's so, my friends and stuff, they all like Call of Duty, so that's why I'm trying to get back into it. So I've never played Warzone. I probably will. I'll try it eventually. Um, but I gotta take baby steps, man. I don't like to lose, so I'm not gonna want to
You
jump
know
into
what?
something.
I don't blame you. I do not blame
Yeah.
you. It's just like like the topic today, right? How we got started to video games
Mm,
and how you started in battle royale. I was bad at battle royale.
okay.
When I first started, I didn't know about loadouts. I didn't know about the OP guns. I didn't know. It's like I knew how to aim. I knew how to shoot, but it took me a while to get that skill back on Black Ops 1. If you think about it, that's 10 years from now, and or more, and yeah, Modern Warfare, Infinite Warfare, yeah, Infinite Warfare. I
Hmm.
did play that a lot,
Oh wow.
but
Okay.
yeah, but then when I found out I had to pay $60 to play on the PlayStation 4 PSN network,
Hmm.
I was just like, you're not getting my money. So yeah, but then when Warzone came out, I had no choice for me to upgrade my guns to get better at the game. And it's a new begin. It's technically like a new beginning,
Mm,
in a battle royale world. And I played Fortnite. I did not. I didn't like third person gaming. That's why I never got into PUBG. So yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I
Hmm.
really like third person games, man. I
Hmm.
played probably for maybe about 6 years, man. I played a game called Lost Planet, man. I played
Perfect,
that
man.
game a lot, man. And shout out to all the Lost Planet players, OGs out there, man. They that game is probably where like my like social experience with like multiplayer gaming actually started. That was the very first. So the 360, the Xbox 360 Live or whatever. I bought the 360, and this was in 2006, I believe. And my brother told me to buy Lost Planet. I don't know why he said buy it. I don't know if one of his friends was playing it or anything like that. But I bought it, and then you know, and I was like, okay, yeah, people are playing games online against other people. Like, that sounds crazy, man. Let me jump in on that. So you had to create, a gamer tag, and I ended up creating one. I actually had my nephew at that time. My nephew was probably is 2006, so he was probably 1 years old, man. And I didn't know what name to pick. I wasn't gonna put my actual name on live or anything like that at that time. So I just used my nephew's name. I just went with Young Sway, and then so I created my gamer tag, and then I started playing, and then you're wearing a headset. I can recall the old Xbox 360 headset with on one ear with the mouthpiece, and so there was like no, so I didn't have any surround sound or anything like that at that time. But I remember playing it. Like I would work, I'd come home, get everything situated, and then I'd play. And I got really good at it, and then ended up getting reached out by I guess a clan leader. Some They were playing at there was something called game battles at that time, and clan leader reached out, man, and I guess had to do a tryout and stuff like that, and then ended up joining their clan, and then the rest was history, man. Communicating with the team members and talking trash to the other teams and stuff like that. Like y'all are about to go down on Friday, man. And so I started developing relationships, man, and I actually still have a lot of those people that I play with. From way back then. I still talk to a lot of them today, man. Most of them, a lot of them are still gamers and stuff like that. So that's like where my online experience with gaming actually started, was with that game Lost Planet, and then we started playing Call of Duty, and that's how I got into Call of Duty and stuff as well. So that was my online gaming has been since 2006, but there's people that's been longer than that. Like whenever Halo came out, man. But again, I was poor, man. I was the only time I would play Halo is when I went to my friend's house and we would play, however, what was it, four people locally, couch co-op, or couch multiplayer. That's all I could play. 2006 is when I actually started playing, online against other people and started developing relationships with other gamers. And the game Lost Planets, the game that really got me started with that. Greg, I'm gonna let you go next real quick. But before I do, I wanted to say to you, Ken, going back to the battle royale format, that's so popular right now. Uh, I really didn't want to. I couldn't get into it because it just didn't seem it's fast paced to me. Like I was watching, like I started watching PUBG, and people are just camping in, rooms and waiting for people to come by and then shoot them. And then, so I was just like, it's not fast paced enough for me, but now, I am like seeing people that are playing that, are not really camping, but actually out there trying to go get kills and stuff like that. So that kind of piqued my interest a little bit, man. But that's like the real reason I just wasn't interested in battle royale, man. It just really seemed like a camp session. So yeah. But Greg, man, what game did you get started with in terms of like online multiplayer gaming, man?
I think it was actually at Chino's house, Carlos's house.
Mm.
Halo 2, I believe.
Okay.
He had Halo 2 on his Xbox, and I remember, I hadn't been playing, anything online myself yet. And I remember just like through his gamer tag or whatever, just started playing and got hooked on it. So probably Halo. Um, I'm a big Gears of War fan in terms of online multiplayer. I know Gears is like a special like niche for people. Like not everybody is big on
Yeah.
Gears multiplayer. It's definitely a different animal. You have to learn the movement, hopping in and out of cover,
Mm-hmm.
quick popping out with your shotgun at close range. It's it's a lot different than other multiplayer games. So Gears, I got into Call of Duty. Probably the first Call of Duty I played was Call of Duty 2.
Mm.
That again was at Carlos's house. We used to play with his brother, just like some local matchmaking or whatnot. And then eventually, when Modern Warfare came out, started playing that online. I played World at War online,
Mm.
Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops. And then similar to you, around that time, I had stopped playing Call of Duty for a little while. I had my fair share of it for a little while. Ended up moving on to some other things. I played the first Titanfall. I played
Mm.
that a lot with my cousin Classic. It had a prestige system like Call of Duty, and once you get to 10th prestige, you start to get these medal ranks like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, and your rank goes up and down based on your performance in the matches. And I still think my cousin Classic and I were the only two, like we would get into matches and we were the only ones that we would see had reached Diamond 5 in that game. So once you get to once you get your to a different medal rank like gold, platinum, then diamond, you'd have to get to a different tier, and Diamond 5 was like the highest you could get. And
Wow.
it's like a proud accomplishment for the two of us. We always go back and say that, like, we're the only two we remember seeing getting Diamond 5 in the first Titanfall playing online matchmaking. So,
Nice.
um, I was more consistent playing Gears than COD over the years. Once I had taken a break, I played a lot of Gears 2, Gears 3 matchmaking, Gears 4 I played online. I didn't play Gears 5 too much. And then, took maybe a little break from some matchmaking online
Mm-hmm.
competitive multiplayer. Picked up Cold War, as you know, and we've been
Mm-hmm.
playing some of that, just kind of shaking the rust off, and
Yeah.
definitely feeling more comfortable playing recently. Than maybe when we first picked it up, just because it had been a while since I had played competitively in COD anyway, so had to redevelop that muscle memory. And a
Yeah.
lot of it is awareness and learning the maps too, and where to expect people and stuff like that. So when it's been a while since you've played a certain game competitively, and it's a new game that you're playing, you definitely have to get used to it, learn the maps and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So but definitely worth it. It's fun. And I enjoy playing competitive online as much as I enjoy other things. I kind of bounce around from different things, something co-op, that's fun to play, and then, throw in some competitive multiplayer, right now being COD. So,
Yeah.
you know,
All right, man. Yeah. Ken, I think you mentioned it earlier. Um, it wasn't what game was it you said that you started playing online?
Gears of War.
Oh yeah, you were
It was
playing
Gears of
Gears as
War.
well.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm one of
Yeah.
those that
Yeah.
it would take me a long like I enjoy playing Gears, man, but I can't play it competitively, man.
Yeah.
It would take me a long time to learn the cover system
Yeah.
and stuff like that, man.
Mm.
But I know that's a very popular and really competitive game, man, as well.
pe- people are ferocious in Gears. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in COD, you get a lot of, a lot of
But
people with, kind of like some toxic talk and stuff.
right. Sweats.
Yeah, but if in Gears, like if you're in a tight match and you kill someone, they're pissed about it. They'll start screaming at you, send you. Like, I've had all sorts of, I call them compliments, but hate messages
Compliments.
from people. That, yeah, I mean they're compliments. I mean, someone yells at someone's pissed, it means you got the better of them. So
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you mentioned this word that I was thinking about earlier, Ken, because my son's a gamer too, man. And I remember I was in his room watching him play. He was I think he was playing Apex Legends.
Apex Legend.
So I was watching him and his friends play, man, and I'm listening to his lingo and how he's talking. And he's like, "Oh my god, these." He's a kid. He's like, "Oh my god, these kids are some sweats." And I'm thinking to myself, like, for one, you're a kid, so I don't know why you're calling other players that you don't know kids, And then he was like, in their sweats. Now, I was familiar with the word try hard. I understood what it was. I didn't really understand why people used it, but I get what people are trying to say. Now, the word now is everyone is a sweat. You're a sweat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when my son was saying that, I asked him, I was like, son, what is that? What is a sweat? And he was like, oh, it's someone that's like really trying so hard, so they're like sweating, And I was like, you're sweating. So doesn't that make you a sweat? And then I had to start thinking about it, like, do you call someone a sweat that's trying hard? Like, are you basically saying that this person is trying hard and they're beating me, so I have to use some word to try to belittle them to make myself feel better? Does that sound to me? That's what it sounds like.
Uh-huh.
Does
So
is that right? Do you call someone a sweat when you're beating them, or do you?
so it in my term, or some most people term, when we call people sweats, that means they're better than my team. They're better than
Okay,
us. So
that's what I
to
thought.
be a sweat, we have to be a sweat. I get what you're saying. I get what
Yeah,
you're coming
yeah.
from. But when we see the lobby, oh, there's a bunch of sweats in here. Oh, it's all right. We're a sweat too, so we could beat them. But if they
Okay,
beat us, they're more sweater than us.
okay,
So if that makes sense. So yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah. But
because
I get what you're coming from.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just saying that because they're beating you, man. So that,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
you're trying hard too.
yeah.
You're trying to win is just as bad as they're trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting there just talking to yourself, man. When you call
Right.
somebody a try hard or a sweat.
it does seem like a psychological
It's
thing.
like it actually is. Yeah.
I yeah, I gotta run things through my mind, man, and like, wait a minute, I need to understand this. So, but yeah, man, that's been an hour, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut us down. I know it's Friday, and I know, like, for myself, I want to get some gaming in myself, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. But Ken, I know that you're a new streamer,
Yep.
so do
I
you want to
am.
tell the people what your stream name is? When do you stream? Do you have a schedule yet? Or any, however you want to, like, whatever you want to say.
So my stream name is actually there, Swaggy 2 underscores TTV. And with my stream schedule, I'm working on that, and usually I would stream, you know, during afternoon or nights. It's more convenient for people to see me, and yeah, they get off work, they could just come watch me, come hang out with me, and
Hmm.
so yeah, and
And you're streaming Call of Duty primarily, right?
primarily Call of Duty, yes.
Okay,
So
all
I'm
right,
trying to get in more to other games like Cyberpunk.
okay.
I will see where it goes, but I just love the game of Call of Duty, man.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right. Y'all go follow Ken.
Yes.
Swaggy __ TTV. Greg, man, I appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight. I don't know if you want to say anything, sign off.
Just here for the experience, for the fun, have a, good conversation with you guys. Probably going to be looking into into streaming at some point, but we're not there yet. So not going to do any promoting here, but just, enjoying being here.
Yeah, y'all get ready, as once he starts streaming, you're gonna see some good stuff, man. He what did you just got all the trophies on Resident Evil 3 or something like that?
Yeah, the final achievements, going for an S rank on Inferno, which wasn't that bad, but the last Nemesis boss is, he's pretty rough. He can stun lock you in many ways on Inferno, where you have to, you kind of got to go hitless. Otherwise, if he touches you once, you're done. So that achievement was a little frustrating, but pushed
Wow.
through and ended up getting it. So.
All right, man. Yeah, that's good content, man.
That is.
People will want to watch that, and I know you love 100% in platformers and stuff like that as well, man. There's a lot of people that would really enjoy watching that stuff, man. Again, I appreciate my guests, Ken and Greg. Again, I'm Jashy TV. You can also follow me on Twitch or on Twitter. You should see videos coming every week. Follow me on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like this video and also comment. Let me know if there's any topics that you'd like to hear discussed. And also, if you're a gamer and you like to join, come hang out with me and just come talk about gaming things and talk about life. Please reach out to me. I'd love to have you join the movement. All right. Thank you.